It's so funny like that.
Trying to be in the picture.
He can't move. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you're drinking your tea or your coffee. Whatever makes you feel good. Orange juice, maybe?
Oh. Water?
Here we go.
Hot
Get
chocolate?
up. Let's go, get up.
Is anybody drinking hot chocolate yet in the morning?
Aaron would drink hot cocoa. Every restaurant we go to for breakfast. Do you have some hot chocolate?
With whipped cream?
Can I have whipped cream? He's like a kid. So cute. We'll wait just a couple seconds for some peeps to hop on. It's Monday morning. Hope you can hang out with us for a few minutes.
What do we think relationships are for?
Yeah, I'm excited about this topic. Hop on, hang out with us for a bit.
All right.
Almost Thanksgiving, y'all. What's up?
Oh, Tina, hey.
All
Just got
right.
married, I believe, recently.
Let's jump in, guys. Join us for a few minutes before you start your week. Here we go.
So the question is, what are relationships actually for? What do we as a whole, as people, think relationships are for? And what I will propose is what society, what we all have kind of been conditioned to think society is, or what relationships are really for. And Andrea, and that is that you notice subconsciously or consciously there's something missing, there's a void in you, and now you are out to search around and find this partner that's going to fulfill and fill that void in you. So, for instance, a couple of years ago, I was walking around and it seemed like life was just happening to me, but it seemed like what the next level for me was to get into a relationship because that's what I was supposed to do, that go out and find someone that completes me, right? Isn't that the phrase? Go find someone that completes you, that you feel fully loved, that you can express your love to someone else. But it really points to that you're looking to partner with somebody to fulfill you where you're not fulfilled.
Yeah, and even outside of partnership, like if we look at relationship in general, Aaron says this almost every place we go speak. He talks about how we're all in relationships, friendships, business partnerships, our coworkers, our boss, our family. Those are all relationships. And we relate, at least for myself. Let us know how you feel about this, but I want to go into this before even going to romantic partnerships. But relationships for me, friendships, bosses, family, were always to validate something about myself. Like I needed affirmation from particular people and I wanted them to feel good. And this actually showed up because I related to relationships like they should be a way to validate me, right? Or tell me I'm good, or give me feedback. Like my friends should give me feedback. I'm good. And this happened.
Doing this right?
Yeah, am I doing this right? A month ago, maybe 2 months ago, a friend confronted me pretty hardcore about something that was going on. And it literally challenged my whole paradigm of what I thought friendships were for, because she said that things that maybe not most friends would bring up, like that I needed to really look at for myself. And so I remember it took me a day to just register that, oh, true friendship means saying stuff that's sometimes really freaking hard to hear. Sorry, my eye just got something in it.
That's such a great point. Do we even tell those that we even say that are our friends? We're going to talk about friends, a part of a relationship right now. Are we just nice to our friends? Do we just tell them what they want to hear? And if that's the case, does that lead to anybody's growth? Does that have them grow? Does that really benefit them? Does that benefit you at all? Are you growing that relationship whatsoever just by being nice and talking on a surface level, a surface type level?
Or even looking at business partnerships, right? Like we want our business partners to always, be nice to us. And I have thousands of business partners, right? We have a couple different businesses, one of which we partner with people and have thousands of business partners. And if I were to look at all of them of, do they always make me feel good? I might never learn. With my partnerships, I always needed my past boyfriends or dating relationships to validate me. And if they challenged me, it was bad, right? If they challenged something, it's bad. Or if we argued, it was bad. So looking at what overall relationships, whether it's any friendship, business partnership, or romantic, what we have created for ourselves is that relationships are for our highest learning. That they are the mirror that we can learn the most. I learned so much about myself through family. I mean, I've had some big challenges with family, but if we looked at family as they should always make me happy, this is especially applicable with the holidays coming up. We're going to be around family, and if we think family should always be good, always be nice, always be a certain way, whatever that blank is for you to fill in, then we're missing a lot of the juicy stuff that relationships can be for, which is our highest learning. What would you want to add to that?
Just makes me think of coming into the holidays, if there's a family member that you haven't seen for a while, or one that you haven't talked to just because something happened, is it going to go the way of you're just going to be nice and talk about how things have been going, eat some turkey, some mashed potatoes, and then sort of just move on and keep things status quo? Or for a relationship at its highest level of learning, are you going to be open enough to have the conversation that's needed? Are you going to say, hey, I know that we've had something in our way. Are you up to getting that cleaned up and actually learning something and growing? Because how often, and we can even see how this really happens in everyday life, how often when you go have the tough, difficult conversations, it's difficult and it feels awkward and it's nerve-wracking maybe for a first couple of minutes. And once you get through it and you understand one another and you get what there is to grow, I mean, how much deeper a connection is that relationship afterward? Mm-hmm. So that's really what we're pointing to, that what relationships are for is for learning and growth. Mm-hmm. And you can be in a relationship with someone in an elevator for 30 seconds, or you can have, your parents that you've known your whole life. Where are we actually looking for the places to grow? Mm-hmm. And these uncomfortable places in relationships where, I'm not just going to say that, I want to just keep everyone happy. Is that the deepest meaning for your relationship? And is it going to grow and strengthen you, what you're up to, and that person, and ultimately the people around you?
Exactly. So that's what we've been discovering for ourselves, and it has made things just so much, there's been so much more depth in our relationships, our friendships. Aloha. For the highest learning. And that's the kind of business partners we want to be, the friends, family, for each other. Is that an aloha sign?
Yeah.
Aloha, I'm learning. I feel like I'm trying to be a gangster or something. So really for you this week and going into the holidays, tension builds for some people. Is he joking?
He said, Aaron, you know who my wife is. I sure do. She's pretty gangster out there in the Eva Beach hood.
I'll let you guys talk about that. But as you go into the holidays with everyone that's going to be around you, can you hold that peace knowing that the relationships are for your highest learning? So here's an example of how I approach this. If family says something to me, for example, that triggers me, you guys are having your Hawaiian talk there. If family says something that, triggers me, or a business partner, or whomever it is, instead of like, well, I'm pissed at that person. What's up, Kathy? Good morning, babe. I'm upset at that person. They said that to me. I can't believe they said that to me, or I can't believe they did that to me. Like, that's what our brains want to say sometimes, right? Instead, I go, what is this relationship and this dynamic and this experience teaching me about myself? What am I out to learn from this situation? This person, if I could take this personally, like they're trying to do something to me, or I could look, oh my gosh, this person is providing a mirror for me to learn exactly what I'm meant to learn right now.
And so think about if that was your mentality around relationships, that when arguments and disagreements came up, what if you actually said, yes, this is awesome? Not because you don't feel connected, but because we're going to deepen our connection and our relationship from this. And I'm really interested in what we're both going to learn. Like, I'll imagine how you would approach disagreements and how you would feel about them ultimately if that was your perception of them.
Yeah.
And then, so the last piece I want to talk about is when you step into a romantic, long-term, committed relationship, I want to point to that what you should be expecting is that you're stepping into a relationship, like Jocelyn said, where that person is going to mirror your deepest concerns and the deepest level for you to be able to grow, for me to be able to grow, and for me to realize that that's the kind of relationship that I've stepped into with Jocelyn. Because we're going to be in this for the long haul for life, I can expect that the deepest rooted concerns and fears I have should come to the surface, such that I can bring my awareness to them and disappear them and become the best version of myself.
Oh yeah.
And so
That's good.
when your partner, when you have a disagreement or you get into an argument or whatever that might be, like, really get that it's not something that's not supposed to happen. That's because I'm out and we're out for the highest level of growth for ourselves.
And that's a huge part of what we talk about in our book. And if you haven't read our book, I highly suggest reading it. Not because we wrote it. I actually feel like the Spirit totally wrote it all. I read it and I'm like, who wrote this? But we talk about that.
I passed out and I just typed.
That relationship to arguments. Romantically, again, with any sort of relationship, we can look at that as a lesson. And that can give us freedom. So when
Thanks,
Aaron
Becky.
and I have a disagreement, it's so much different than how I related to relationships in the past. It's like, I'm a bad person. Okay, that's not how it goes. He's been watching too many action movies. What's up, Christopher? Good morning. You know, I used to be like, oh my gosh, an argument's happening. I'm a bad person. This shouldn't be happening. I'm disappointing them. Like, all of my stuff comes up. And now it's like, yes, oh my gosh, okay, we're really dealing with something right now.
Yes.
Yes. We're really dealing with stuff. Like Aaron said, we mirror for each other our deepest stuff, and not enough of us know how to navigate that. We have been, and let me know if you agree, right? A lot of us have created this idea, this belief, because it all comes down to belief, this belief that conflict is bad. And now we're not talking about like conflict like we're screaming at each other, like we're talking about true communication, communicating about what's really there, the deep stuff. But we can look at that as friendships, as business partners, as romantic relationships, that getting into that deep stuff, we mirror for each other. Kathy, you mirror for me things I need to learn. Christopher, you mirror things for me I need to learn, because any belief I come up with when I see you is a reflection of something I have going on. Aaron brings stuff up for me. He mirrors for me places for me to grow myself. My family, I see them and they mirror for me things to grow and develop. Those people in your life are doing the same for you, and you can just embrace that and look at that as like it's for your highest learning. It's a good thing. So whatever is coming up for you in any relationship, say yes. Like, this is exactly what I asked for. I asked for learning. I asked for growth, because that's what we're here for. We don't look at life as just like, oh, let's just have like no conflict. I'd be bored out of my mind. I want to grow. And if you're watching this, I'm guessing it's because you want to grow in life, which I think we all do. We just sometimes didn't know. I didn't know 4 years ago I wanted to grow. I thought I could, like, I didn't even realize you could grow. I thought you just were the way you were no matter what.
And I want to point to, I just was thinking, I don't even like the word conflict, because it makes me think of like war. It makes me think of an attack and a defense, defending and attacking. And so what if it wasn't even conflict? That, like we spoke to before, the perception is really that whenever something comes up, it's just an area to develop and strengthen yourself. I mean, when you go to the gym and lift weights, you're not like, oh my gosh, there's such a conflict between this weight and my bicep. No, it's like you're going in.
I'm trying to imagine.
This conflict. But when we use words like conflict instead of things like growth and we know we go to the gym, you do those bicep curls because you're growing your muscle, that anytime anything comes up, I can't even think of a word yet, it's just for growth. And so it's not a conflict because that
You're
kind of
being
automatically...
stretched. It's just being stretched.
I'm going to go with growth still. I don't want to be
Aaron
stretched.
is really attached to the word
My
growth.
muscles are tight. So anyway, we'll wrap this up. And so ultimately, looking at what we've been talking about, what relationships are truly for, the perception that they are, not just a perception, but take on today that when things come up, that it really is, oh, this must mirror a concern or fear I have. Where can I grow? Where is this going to strengthen me? I'm so excited for this to be happening. So then tune in with us next Wednesday. We'll continue this about beliefs and what relationships are
This
for.
whole week, guys, we're going to be talking about belief. I've been writing a ton. Even our Instagram's all about belief this week because, you know, beliefs are really the foundation for anything. Our beliefs about our relationships, which we talked about today, our beliefs about money, our beliefs about health, our beliefs about the world, people, it all starts with what we believe. So we're going to be doing that, and we're also going to be creating a lot about beliefs in our private groups. We have a whole private group for health. If you want more coaching there, we do a ton about belief about health in our group. So this whole week, expect belief coming from us because that's where everything comes from. We can change action all we want, but if we don't have the beliefs to support it, it'll just keep taking us back to the same result. Insanity, right? All right, enjoy your Monday. See you guys Wednesday.